Hello and welcome to this edition of National Sports Magazine. I'm Raja Raman and we'll have the pleasure of your company over the next half hour when we shall revisit some sporting memories from the past fortnight. And there have been some amazing memories indeed. Let's start with wrestling.
India achieved their best ever show at the World Wrestling Championships with 5 medals that includes 1 silver and 4 bronze medals at Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. Vinesh Fogart, Bajrang Punia and Ravi Daya took a bronze medal each, and they also qualified for the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2020. 19-year-old Deepak Punia became the youngest Indian wrestler to enter the final of this prestigious tournament, and he also booked Olympic quota as well to put icing on the cake.
मैं बहुत अच्छा फील कर रहा था फाइनल में पहुंचने के बाद, और थोड़ा मेरे को दुख भी है कि मैं फाइनल बाउट नहीं लड़ पाया.
Though his hopes of fighting for the gold was dashed after he pulled out of the 86 kg final with an ankle injury which got aggravated during the course of the day.
ये मेरे पैर पे चोट है गट्टे पर, और ये फर्स्ट बाउट में चोट लग गई थी, फर्स्ट मिनट में. फिर चोट के साथ साथ मैंने 3 बाउट और निकाली. फर्स्ट तो निकली, सेकंड भी निकाली, थर्ड भी निकाली और फोर्थ बाउट भी निकाली. मैंने मेडिसिन तो नहीं लिया था, डोप से पहले कुछ नहीं लिया था मैंने, क्योंकि ये था कि डोप होना है. तो मैं इस पे आइस वगैरह करता गया हर बाउट में, और टेपिंग कराता रहा, और मुंह स्प्रे वगैरह का ये ट्रीटमेंट रहा मेरा.
That necessitated his withdrawal from the final, where the gold went to Olympic and world champion Hassel Aliazam Yazdani Charati of Iran, while an injured Deepak had to settle for the silver medal.
मेरी चारों बाउट बहुत टफ रही है कुश्ती सारी. पहले कजाकिस्तान का था, वो बहुत अच्छा रेसलर था, उससे मैं पहले हारा भी था, और की बार मैंने उसको हराया. फिर उसके बाद तजाकिस्तान का था, फिर उसके बाद कोलंबिया का था. इतने अच्छे अच्छे रेसलर को हराया था, और सेमीफाइनल में मैंने अपनी पूरी जी जान लड़ा दी.
It has been a steady progress for Deepak, who won the World Cadet title in 2016 and became Junior World Champion only last month in Estonia.
अब तो सबसे बड़ा सपना यही है कि ओलंपिक में मेडल लेके आए.
Rahul Avare clinched a bronze in 61 kg. The biggest achievement of Rahul Avare's career came after he beat Tyler Lee Graf of USA 11-4 in the 61 kg non-Olympic category bronze medal bout. Even though the Commonwealth Games gold medalist was trailing by 2 points initially, he made a quick turnaround and stormed back to lead 4-2. In the second period, Avare's aggression helped him score points easily for the 10-2 lead before completing the victory. Punia and Avare were the 4th and 5th wrestlers to add medals to India's tally this time, which helped the contingent better its previous record haul of 3 medals in 2013. Shrugging off his controversial semi-final defeat, Bajrang Punia bagged his 3rd World Championship medal.
जो रेफरी का फैसला हो तो जूरी बदल सकती है, या रेफरी खुद ठीक कर सकता है उस चीज़ को. आप अगर फाउल खेल रहे तो उस चीज़ को तो मैं नहीं कर सकता हैंडल. भी हमारी फेडरेशन ने उसके UWW को ऑब्जेक्शन किया था कि भाई हमारे साथ गलत हो रहा है, और मेरे साथ 3 वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में गलत हुआ है. पिछले साल भी और पेरिस में भी ऐसा ही हुआ था. तो मुझे नहीं लगता, और उन्होंने अभी बोला कि भाई हम खासकर इंडिया टीम का बहुत ध्यान रखेंगे, आगे से कोई ऐसी गलती नहीं होगी हमारे से. हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते अगर रेफरी मिस्टेक करता, तो वो रेफरी को ध्यान देना चाहिए कि भाई आप किसी खिलाड़ी के साथ आप गलत कर रहे तो उसके कैरियर का सवाल हो. रेसलिंग में हम दिन रात एक करते, ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, अपनी फैमिली से दूर रहते हैं, हर चीज़ का त्याग करते हैं, और उनका एक 6 मिनट लगती है खिलाड़ी की ज़िंदगी ख़राब करने में. उनको ठीक होना चाहिए कि भाई हाँ, हम किसी के साथ अन्याय नहीं करना चाहिए हमें, तो उनकी आत्मा को बोलना चाहिए ये चीज़ें.
Bajrang was already India's only multiple medalist at the Worlds, and he consolidated his record with his narrow 8-7 win over Mongolia's Tulga Tumur Ochir, the under-23 Asian champion. Bajrang held off a spirited challenge from Ochir, who had raced to a 6-0 lead, but true to his style, the Indian ruled the second period with a flurry of moves. He had won a silver medal last year and a bronze in the 2013 edition in Budapest. It was Bajrang's first tournament of the season where he did not make the final, though he qualified for the Tokyo Olympics Double Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar, who returned to the Worlds after 8 years, exited after 9-11 first-round defeat in 74 kg against Kudzi Murad Gadziev of Azerbaijan. The Azerbaijani wrestler later lost his quarter-final bout to USA's Jordan Ernest Burroughs, resulting in Sushil's ouster from the championship. Having endured a medal-less run in the 3 World Championships before, Vinesh finally ended the drought by pinning wrestler Maria Prevloraki by fall in the bronze medal bout. Vinesh is now one of India's most successful wrestlers with gold medals at the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games already in her cupboard.
सभी वर्ल्ड के टॉप एथलीट आते हैं और उनमें से मेडल निकालना और ओलंपिक के ईयर में जबकि सबको पता है कि फर्स्ट क्वालिफाई तो सभी ने अपना 100% दिया है, तो एक रिलीफ मिला मुझे कि मुझे पहले मिल गया है कोटा, तो भी मेरे पास प्रिपरेशन के लिए काफी टाइम मिल गया मुझे। और ओलंपिक्स का बाकी है अभी, ओलंपिक्स का जो एथलीट का लास्ट स्टेज होता है, तो मैं चाहूंगा कि वहां तक मैं अपना बेस्ट कर सकूं और वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप का ब्रॉन्ज हुआ है, गोल्ड नहीं हुआ है, तो धीरे धीरे वो स्टेप टू स्टेप मैं चाहती हूँ कि उसमें जाऊं। आज मुझे ब्रॉन्ज मिला है तो होपफुली भगवान की दया से अगर मैं मेहनत करूंगी तो शायद वो गोल्ड में भी तब्दील होगा एक दिन। पूरे साल का जो भी कॉम्पिटिशन था हमारा फोकस वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप था और कोच भी काफी खुश है कि हमने कोटा लिया है, मेडल जीता है। मेडिसिन से मेरा पहला मैच था, मुझे वो मैच जीतना बहुत ही ज्यादा जरूरी था। मुझे पता है कि सामने जापान भी है तो कुछ भी हो सकता था उस ग्रुप में, तो मैं हर मैच पे फोकस कर रही थी। मेडिसिन से मैंने निकला लेकिन मैं जापान से नहीं निकल पाई, लेकिन होपफुली मुझे था कि फाइनल में कम से कम जाए। मैं मुकायदा से हारी हूँ लेकिन मुझे पता मैंने अपना 100% एफर्ट ट्राई किया है, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो अच्छी है, उस चीज पे मैं काम करूंगी। मैं ऑब्वियसली मेडल जीत गई हूँ लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं मुझे भी फील होता है कि मैं और अपना बेटर कर सकती हूँ इस वेट में।
Adding to the illusion of the Indian camp was a gritty show by Pooja Dhanda in 59 kgs, a non-Olympic category. Pooja reached the semi-finals with a remarkable come-from-behind 11-8 win over Japan's Yuzuka Inagaki before losing the semi-final by technical superiority to Russia's Lyubyov Ovcharova, who is the 2017 European champion. With the kind of confident performance Indian grapplers have put up, a lot can be expected of them at Tokyo next year.
Moving on to athletics, the Indian 4x400 meter mixed relay squad earned qualification for the Olympic Games in Tokyo next year with a season's best time of 3 minutes 15.77 seconds in finishing 7th in the final of the IAAF World Athletic Championship in Doha. That and Anu Rani's 8th place finish in women's javelin throw with a national record of 63.43 meters in qualification were the brightest spots for India. Avinash Sable qualified for the 3000 meter steeplechase final after being impeded twice in the heats. He finished 7th in that race with a national record time of 8 minutes 25.23 seconds. He was given a ticket to the final after the Indian camp protested to the jury against his losing time and rhythm due to the obstruction caused to him. Much was expected from Jinson Johnson in the men's 1500 meters, but he faded to a 10th place finish in the first round heats, unable to produce the kick that he is renowned for. Though shot putter Tajinder Pal Singh Toor came up with a season best throw of 20.43 meters, he was unable to secure a place in the final and bowed out of competition. It was a similar story for MP Jabir in the men's 400 meters hurdles and PU Chitra in the women's 1500 meters. They produced season best performances, but those were not good enough to get them into the finals. There was a disappointing display by Ayasami Dharun in men's 400 meters hurdles, M. Sri Shankar in long jump, Duti Chand in women's 100 meters and Archana Suchindran in 200 meters. Let's now move on to boxing.
Haryana pugilist Amit Panghal created history at the IBA Men's World Championship in Yekaterinburg, Russia, as he became the first Indian male boxer to reach the final of the Worlds. Though Asian Games gold medalist Panghal in 52 kg category had to be content with the silver medal after going down 0-5 to Uzbekistan's reigning Olympic gold medalist Shakhobidin Zoirov in the 52 kg final bout. But the scoreline was hardly a reflection of the fight he put in the final. The high-performance director of the team, Mr. Santiago Niva, thought the final bout was tricky.
It was a tricky fight. There was not many scoring blows. There was small things that defined each round. I think second round We improved a lot, and for the last round it was totally open, and we tried to make some adjustment to get more clarity, to make the difference, so that we no doubt. But you have an opponent who also is trying to win. It was a very close bout. When the bout finished, we hoped that the victory was ours, but in the end, this time they gave it to the opponent.
Panghal gave it his all but fell short when it came to connecting accurately. He nonetheless achieved a historic feat. In a bout that was mostly about counter-attack, both Panghal and Zoirov were wary of each other in the opening 3 minutes. The action picked up a bit in the second round and Panghal tried hard to capitalize on his rival's low guard. However, in Zoirov, Panghal met his match in pace and the Uzbek had no trouble dodging Panghal's lunging efforts. The final round was when the two boxers decided to attack each other more intensely, and even though Panghal was more aggressive, it was Zoirov who managed to land more scoring blows. The silver here marks a new high for the boxer from Rohtak, who has been simply unstoppable since breaking into a national scene with the bronze in the 2017 Asian Championships. Earlier, Panghal prevailed 3-2 against Kazakhstan's Sekin Bebisunov in the last 4 stage. In the course of his stupendous run, the second-seeded Indian became the first male boxer from the country to finish second in the world event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout is the boxer from the blue corner, representing India, Amir.
काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट था क्योंकि 52 केजी में फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप खेल रहे हैं। उस हिसाब से उस वेट के लिए ना तो अभी इतना ज़्यादा पावर हमारे अंदर है, ना इतना ज़्यादा रीच, क्योंकि सभी बड़े बॉक्सर मेरे सामने आए, जितने भी अपोनेंट हैं मेरे से लंबे आए हैं, उनके साथ थोड़ा डिफ़िकल्टी रहता है। लेकिन हम प्रैक्टिस उसी चीज़ के लिए कर रहे हैं कि जितने भी लंबे बॉक्सर्स होंगे उसके लिए ही हमने प्रैक्टिस किया है। और ये मेडल बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है ओलंपिक्स के लिए, क्योंकि उससे जस्ट पहले हमारी परफॉर्मेंस जितनी अच्छी होगी ओलंपिक्स में हम उतना अच्छे से खेल पाएंगे और अच्छे से अच्छा मेडल लेगा।
Panghal's defensive approach exposed him to a few blows from his accomplished opponent. While Panghal looked to improve his attack as the bout went on, the taller and sturdier Zoirov was overall the better boxer as he landed his first gold as well as his first ever medal from the World Championships. Commonwealth Games silver medalist Manish Kaushik signed off with a bronze in the 63 kg category after losing in the semi-finals. Competing in his debut World Championship, Kaushik lost 0-5 to top-seeded Cuban Andy Gomez Cruz, a gold medalist from the previous edition besides being the reigning Pan-American Games champion.
इन बाउटों से मुझे काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंस मिला क्योंकि जो मेरे ओपोनेंट थे वो ओलंपियंस भी थे, एशियन गेम्स के मेडलिस्ट भी थे और मैं उनसे 5-0 से मतलब क्लियर एक तरफा मुकाबले में जीता हूं, तो इससे मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस भी बढ़ा है। और वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में हर देश के अपने बेस्ट बॉक्सर आए थे, तो अगर मैं वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में मेडल आया तो मैं कॉन्फिडेंस और बढ़ गया कि मैं ओलंपिक्स में भी अच्छा करूँ।
That is how the high performance director of the team, Mr. Santiago Niva, summed up the performance of his boys.
We had the best ever results, 2 medals, 1 boxer in the final. We performed very well. We had 2 other quarter-finalists, so the results point in the right direction. All the major championships we are having good results, so that is good. Obviously we want more, we strive for more, we want all to be gold medalists, so we have to see where we need to improve. 1 year from now we need to be significantly better than we are now. Our opponents, they're also preparing. The Asian qualifier and the world qualifier, they will be extremely tough. Many Asian countries doing very well, so we have to stay on top all the time and don't leave anything for chance. That's what we are trying to do.
India's laudable performance at this tournament is another validation that men's boxing in the country has been on an upward trajectory for some time. With just 1 year to go for the Tokyo Olympics, such a strong show only boosts medal hopes further. Chief Coach Mr. C.A. Kutappa outlined the strategy for the future tournaments.
Now I am feeling very happy, but still बहुत और आगे बढ़ना है और आगे और अच्छा परफॉर्म करना है. Then next it's World Championship अपना देश में ही है एंड मैं टारगेट ये ला के चल रहा हूँ कि अपना कंट्री बेस्ट 3 पे आना चाहिए एंड वी आर प्लानिंग एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम नाउ. नेक्स्ट क्वालिफिकेशन है, उसके बाद ओलंपिक्स एंड वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एवरीथिंग लाइक जो भी ट्रेनिंग है, कंपटीशन है, सब कुछ हम लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं.
Manish Kaushik and Amit Pangal thus made it to the Indian boxing squad for next year's Olympic qualifiers owing to their medal-winning show at the World Championships. The Boxing Federation of India had made it clear that boxers who win medals at the World Championships will be automatic picks for the Olympic qualifiers scheduled in February in China. The rest of the squad will be picked up on the basis of camp performance, points accumulated at international events and, in some cases, trials.
It's time now to shift our focus to weightlifting. Meerabai Chanu's 4th place finish in the women's 49 kg class competition in the 2019 IWF World Championship in Pattaya, Thailand was the lone bright spot for India. She totaled a career best of 201 kilos with 87 kilos in snatch and 114 kilos in clean and jerk. Had she succeeded in lifting 118 kilos on a clean and jerk attempt, she could have made it to the podium. Raki Halda, competing in the 64 kilo class, finished 14th overall with total lifts of 214 kilos, while Jilu Dalabera had 3 no lifts at the opening weight of 68 kilos in snatch and missed out on the chance to earn crucial points that would have lifted her from 5th place in the 45 kilo class in the Olympic Games ranking. Of course, at 4th, Meerabai Chanu is the highest ranked Indian. The first test between India and South Africa in Visakhapatnam is in progress, the visiting team battling to keep Virat Kohli and his men at bay. Yet India gained immensely from the manner in which its openers Mayank Agarwal and Rohit Sharma batted on the first 2 days. Mayank Agarwal made 215 and Rohit Sharma 176 as India piled up 502 for 7 declared in its first innings. Though off-spinner R. Ashwin and left-arm spinner Ravindra Jadeja reduced South Africa to 34 for 3, the visiting side found opener Dean Elgar, skipper Faf du Plessis and wicket-keeper batsman Quinton de Kock holding forth in a resolute 5th and 6th wicket stands on the 3rd day. Of course, India will be hoping to sustain its place as the world's top team in the ICC Test rankings, but it will be immensely pleased that Mayank Agarwal and Rohit Sharma, playing as a Test opener for the first time, came good and ground the visiting attack to dust. After KL Rahul's sustained failure at the top, this will come as a big relief and joy to the Indian team. Here's now a report on the T20 series that ended 1-1.
South Africa levelled the recently concluded 3-match T20 series 1-1 with India following a resounding 9-wicket win. In the final match at Bangalore, the young South Africans easily went past India's 134 to avenge the loss suffered at Mohali. The first match at Dharamshala was abandoned due to heavy rain. Given the strength of the two teams, India was expected to win the series, but as it turned out, the visiting team bowled brilliantly to restrict India to a low total. South African skipper Quinton de Kock scored his second half century of the series to lead the way. If India's 8-wicket win in Mohali was a result of a successful chase after putting the opposition in, the defeat in Bangalore had much to do with the way India batted after winning the toss. India seemed well placed at 63 for 2, but then lost its way dramatically at the KSCS Chinnaswamy Stadium, home to Virat Kohli's Royal Challengers Bangalore. With the ball no longer coming on to the bat and the bowlers finding ways to exploit the perceptible change in the behaviour of the pitch, India looked in trouble. Also, the pitch was beginning to change perceptibly with the ball no longer coming on. With the shine off, South Africa's bowlers were beginning to find ways to exploit it. There was turn for spinners Tabraiz Shamsi and Bjorn Fortuin, and the seamers began varying their pace regularly. India, between numbers 3 and 8, Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, the Pandya brothers and Ravindra Jadeja made only 70 off 85 balls. In fact, India scored only 58 in their last 10 overs. On an evening where conditions changed significantly at the innings break, dew came into play, particularly during the second innings, and batting became easier. Indians failed to even slow down and inform de Kock as he scored an unbeaten 79 off 52 balls, with Reza Hendricks and Temba Bavuma slipping, contributing in unbroken partnerships of 76 and 64 for the first 2 wickets. Later, Kohli's decision to bat came under scrutiny, since no team had ever chosen to bat first in the 6 previous T20 internationals at this ground.
We wanted to go for a big score, and in the past maybe in certain games we've been 20-30 runs short in T20 cricket, batting first, and that's cost us the game. So the idea again, as I said at the toss, was to come out of our comfort zones and try to get that big score because we're batting till 9. but quickly we realized the pitch didn't allow us to keep doing that. So I think the kind of start we got 63 for 1. After that, I think we could have reassessed to about 170 rather than thinking of 200. And because of the intent that we showed, the pitch didn't allow us to get to that total, and we kept losing wickets. Not to take anything away from South Africa, I think they hit the right areas, they bowled really well, understood the pitch. So it was a combination of good bowling, not great decision making. But as I said, these kind of games will keep happening as long as we are wanting to come out of our comfort zone as a team and putting ourselves in situations which could be the case in a big game in a big tournament. So yeah, that was the idea behind it.
Overall, there were more gains for the South Africans from the two decisive games. The retirements of some of the seasoned campaigners have shaken all combinations for South Africa. JP Duminy retired from ODIs but made himself available for T20 World Cup. Imran Tahir said goodbye to the 50-over game but indicated he wants to play on in the shortest format. Dale Steyn will no longer play tests. Hashim Amla, the last link to the world champion 2008 test team, has walked away from international cricket. Given their age, experience, injury history and recent form respectively, none of this quartet has really shocked by stepping aside, but as a collective departure has triggered sweeping changes to the team in all formats. How this cricketing nation bounces back remains to be seen.
On to women's cricket now. India leads the 2020 series against South Africa 3-0 after winning the additional game that was scheduled in Surat to make up for the two washed-out matches. India won this fifth match by 5 wickets, riding on the back of spin bowlers Radha Yadav and Deepti Sharma's fine efforts. Skipper Harmanpreet Kaur made an unbeaten 34 in a tricky chase of the 99-run target. She rallied her team from 29 for 3 in the 7th over to win with 17 deliveries to spare. Let's now listen in to a report on the badminton performances by the Indian stars.
Reigning world champion PV Sindhu failed to impress at the events she participated after the World Championship in August as she crashed out of the China Open and Korea Open in the early rounds only. Indian shuttler Parupalli Kashyap, though, had an impressive run at the Korea Open Super 500 tournament where he reached the semi-finals and eventually lost to world number 1 and the tournament winner Kento Momota of Japan in Incheon. A former world number 6 Kashyap, who was the lone Indian left in fray, went down 13-21, 15-21 to the two-time reigning world champion Momota in 40 minutes. The 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, who was promoted from the qualifying round, had last played Momota 4 years ago at the Indonesia Open. Kashyap had a 0-2 record against the Japanese prior to this encounter. The 33-year-old from Hyderabad, who had reached the finals at Canada Open this year, showed the intent to hang in the rallies as the duo played a lot of tosses and lifts. Earlier, Sindhu crashed out of the opening round of Korea Open Super 500 after losing to Beiwen Zhang in 3 games. Sindhu, who had crashed out of China Open in the pre-quarterfinals last week, couldn't find a way past the American Zhang and lost the match 21-7, 22-24, 15-21. Sindhu had defeated Zhang en route her World Championships gold at Basel earlier this month, but the 11th seed got one back on the superstar Indian shuttler this time. It was a tough loss for the 5th-seeded Sindhu as she had a match point in the second game, but the Chinese-born American hung in there and closed out the match comfortably eventually. With the win, Zhang snapped a 3-match losing streak against the Indian. Meanwhile, B. Sai Praneeth also made an early exit from the men's event after he was forced to retire midway in his first round match against Anders Antonsen of Denmark. Praneeth had lost the first game 9-21 and was trailing 7-11 in the second when he chose to retire because of injury and thus sending Antonsen through to the round of 16. In other women's singles match, Saina Nehwal was trailing 21-19, 18-21, 1-8 against South Korea's Kim Ga-eun when she was forced to retire. Saina has had a tough year owing to injuries. She won the Indonesia Open at the beginning of the season but has struggled since then. In China Open, reigning world champion, a title favourite PV Sindhu crashed out after suffering a pre-quarter-finals defeat to Thailand's Porpavi Chochuwong in the women's women's singles. India's top shuttler Sindhu lost to Thailand's Cho Chu Wong 21-12, 13-21, 19-21 in a duel which lasted for more than 50 minutes. Sindhu, who came into the match with a 3-0 lead against Popavi, dominated the first game as she had led 7-1 early on, but the Thai shuttler reduced the deficit to 10-11 at the break. Earlier, Sindhu had defeated China's Li Zurai 21-18, 21-12 in just 34 minutes to set up a clash with Thailand's Cho Chu Wong. With this loss, India's challenge in the women's singles came to an end as Saina Nehwal had made an exit after losing her opening round clash to Thailand's Busanan Ombangrungfan. It was curtains for India also in the opening round of the men's doubles. Manu Atri and B. Sumit Reddy lost to Huang Kaixiang and Liu Cheng of China 16-21, 21-19 and 18-21. Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty lost to fourth seeds Takeshi Kamura and Kigo Sonoda of Japan 19-21, 21-18, 18-21.
Moving on to hockey, the Indian men's team produced an attacking masterclass on Thursday to defeat reigning world and European champion Belgium 5-1 in the fifth and final match to maintain its 100% record on its tour of Belgium. India won all 5 matches, beating Belgium 2-0 in the opening match and registering 6-1 and 5-1 victories over Spain in the next 2 games before finishing off with victories by 2-1 and 5-1 margins against the host Belgium. The Indian women's team suffered its first defeat on its tour of England when it lost the fourth match 1-3. It started the tour with a 2-1 victory and drew the next 2 1-all and goalless. The 2 Indian teams are preparing for Olympic qualification matches against Russian men and United States women respectively on November 1st and 2nd in Bhubaneswar. There was some very good news from the football front where the Indian under-16 team performed extremely well.
The under-16 Indian national team has qualified for the 2020 Asian Football Confederation Championship to be held in Bahrain. Bibiano Fernandez's boys held hosts Uzbekistan 1-1 in their final qualifier to top Group B with 7 points from 3 games. They had picked up 5-0 wins over both Turkmenistan and Bahrain to position themselves comfortably ahead of the final group match day. Sridat Nongmikappam scored his 5th goal in the competition to break the deadlock, but a late goal by Rian Islamov meant that India had to share the spoils. India started with the same 11 in all 3 group games and managed to extend their unbeaten run to 14 matches. Uzbekistan, on the other hand, stands a chance of qualifying for the finals as one of the top 4 second-place teams. They finished with 7 points with a goal difference of +3 as compared to India's +10. Bibiano's team started their campaign with a 5-0 thumping of Turkmenistan. They followed it up with another 5-0 scoreline, this time against Bahrain, and put themselves in the driving seat for qualifications going into the third and final match day. India only needed a draw to qualify as group toppers in the end. It was a job well done in Tashkent. The last time India qualified for the AFC Under-16 finals was in 2017. India was second in their group, 2 points behind Iraq. The team managed to reach the quarterfinals in the tournament in the following year and missed out on FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualification by a whisker. 2 years later, the current Under-16s have not only topped their group but have also scored 11 goals and conceded just 1. India were better prepared this time around as a result of extensive planning and its execution behind the scenes.
Before we end this edition of National Sports Magazine, it is important to recall that Sumit Nagal became the first Indian to win a clay court tennis tournament in South America. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has announced that it is working on modalities by which schools and colleges, as well as workplaces and other institutions, can declare themselves Fit India educational institutions. Secretary Sports Radhesham Julania said that they will have to comply with some simple requirements to attain Fit India certification. With that, we come to the end of this edition of National Sports Magazine. This is Raja Raman, along with my colleagues Deepika Das and Rakesh Rao, and producer Sudhir Rajoria, thanking you for listening in. Have a sporting and fit time ahead.